are now plugged into Hooked on Sonix with Bruce and Tony Kong.
And we're live.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to our year-end of 2024 spectacular with very special guest, one of the hottest bands in the land, Beyond Neptune, the Chuck Z's. Make sure you guys check out their latest album, In the Arms of Forever, and maybe Chuck will tell us about some other stuff coming up.
Yeah.
Sure. Got a new EP in the works. We're getting ready to release and re-release an older tune that has been remixed and some vocals added to it from our other guitar player and Steve. And we're getting ready to put that out in a few days. We just got to get like a nice background, put our logo on it, whatever, before we put it up on Spotify. And yeah, the EP, we're still recording that. It's been a bit of a slower process because life kind of happens, and you know, it just has to slow down a little bit in order for everyone to catch up.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, we're still editing and all of that as we go, and we just actually re-recorded some vocals last night, which came out really stupidly good.
Good.
And yeah, I mean, it's moving along.
Any shows coming up?
Nothing at the moment. Like, we're trying to hold back on that until probably March. I know that we may have something in June. I think we're on that. Which is at Eldorado's, but I don't know too much about it. I mean, it's just like a thing that happened a few days ago. So,
okay.
Nothing too soon, though. There's nothing too soon.
Who does all your guys' booking?
That's just between me and Blue. It's usually people contacting us or whatever, though. Unless one of us sees something on Facebook. That we're interested in or something like that, we'll hit up those folks. But usually it's just people ask us if we want to be a part of a particular show or whatever. And if we can do it, we can. If we can't, it's the way it goes sometimes, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Excellent.
Sweet.
So,
Looking forward to that EP too.
Absolutely. So in the meantime, everyone, please check out their latest album, In the Arms of Forever. They're all over everything, so check them out.
Buy it on Bandcamp. Get it on Spotify.
Yeah, I think your whole discography went on sale on Bandcamp for $17 the other day, I think.
I think so.
Yeah. I like to buy stuff when it's artist free Fridays or whatever, man, where all the money goes directly to the artist.
Oh yeah, Bandcamp Friday.
Bandcamp Fridays. Yeah. I buy a lot of shit, dude. My Bandcamp library is fucking huge.
Huge. Tony, the people also want to know what's up with you.
Good evening. With that being said, I do have something to mention. Got to go see the new Nosferatu.
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you on a personal level, I loved it. I thought they did a great job with it. I see a lot of people online screaming, "Oh, they tried to make it like Dracula. They tried to make it like Dracula." Well, guys, Nosferatu was based on Dracula. I think there was something where they didn't have the right to use the Dracula storyline from Bram Stoker for some reason. So if you watch the original Dracula and you watch the original
Nosferatu,
there's very, very similar stories going on there. The vampire falls in love with a woman. There's
Love.
the whole thing that goes on. Anyways, I loved it. I thought it was crazy good how you couldn't even recognize Bill Skarsgård. It was fucking good. Personally, I give the movie 4.5 stars. I liked it. The cinematography and everything was fucking great, man. I'm glad I got to see that. And I would say with as good as that movie was filmed and how they did everything, because you got to remember the original was in a black and white and silent.
Mm-hmm.
To update that, bring storyline to it, dialect.
Still have that creepiness.
Oh man, dude, they did a good job, man. I was very happy with it. This is probably one of the better remakes I've seen in a long, long time. And they took their own liberties, and the liberties were good.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
and that's that, man.
Cool. So just to let everyone know, we are actually going to be reviewing our top 5 album releases of 2024 with a few honorable mentions because there was a lot of good music out there this year. So
I could, dude. I thought I was going to fill in a couple honorable mentions with a couple albums I've still been listening to from last year. But man, when I look down this list and everything that I got into this year, I'm like, and I want to say up front when we get to my list, it is very biased in the genre that it's in. I apologize ahead of time. These are just the albums I've listened to the
we expect
absolute
nothing
most.
less.
You know me, dude. But my honorable mentions are pretty nice too. So with that being said,
Yes.
I'm ready to get this fucker started. Chuck, you're up. Number 5.
Number 5. Hang on. I don't have my readers on, so I have to.
Oh,
Dark Throne. It beckons us all.
Dark Throne. It beckons us all.
Yes. All the songs are really good. All the songs are really good. Like it's from front to back. It's a solid listen. But these guys are probably 20 albums deep, and they're still maintaining the ability to put out some really good stuff.
They're classic black metal, ain't they?
Well, they are, but it's more like a black heavy metal type thing now. Like where it's not like just a bunch of blast beats and like the crazy screaming. It's like they're actually trying to an extent. There's still some cheesiness that happens, but in such a good, fun way for what they do. It's definitely worth a listen. It beckons us all. Dark Throne, number 5.
Nice. Bruce,
Yeah.
what you got?
What's going on? What? Oh, it's my turn. All right. Number 5 on my list. I'm going to say this up front. My list was so hard to rank. Like each one of these, number 1 was easy. Everything else under that, God bless. It depended on the day. So I just picked it, and this is what it is for today. The rankings could change tomorrow, but this is what it is today. Number 5 for me was King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizards Flight B741. This thing was so fucking cool. The musicianship on this thing was outstanding. From the opening track, Mirage City, which had this just really cool guitar feedback intro, and just the drums in this thing, fucking phenomenal. Other great songs on this: Hog Calling Contest, Le Risque, the title track, Rats in the Sky. This whole thing is just, I love this album front to back.
You with us?
Bruce has paused.
He may be having some internet issue. I don't know if he's seeing some of the rain and shit that we saw last night.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Well, while we wait on him to get that corrected, give me 1 second here. So, he gave us King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, flight B741. I get the feeling that may not be the last time we talk about that. I'll go next with my number 5. My number 5 being Heavy Temple's Garden of Heathens. There are several great tracks on this album. And of those tracks, Extreme Indifference to Life, Hireth, I believe that's pronounced, or Hireth, Divine Indiscretion, Snake Oil and Other Remedies, Jesus Wept, and the closer, Psycho Mantium. I mean, this whole album's a fucking banger, man. Like, their lead singer and bass player, I want to say she's the Grand Priestess or Grand Mistress Nighthawk, is what she's got her stage name as. She is the main songwriter in this band. And listening to their discography, dude, she is, in my personal opinion, probably one of the best bass players out there right now. Like, they did a cover of Parliament, Hit It and Quit It, Funkadelic. And it was all fuzzed out. Fucking one of the most amazing covers I've ever heard. Got to see them live at the Ace of Cups, hung out with them, got pictures and everything. And why are we doing 2 Bruces?
Back.
Okay. I'm seeing double vision. Anyways, yeah, they were all very kind, very cool individuals. They were dining behind us at Hound Dogs, but very, very, very cool. Got to hang out with that crew that night. Got shit signed. Sent some stuff to Bruce. Yeah, man, phenomenal album. Bruce, in case you missed that, my number 5 was Heavy Temple, Garden of Heathens.
I figured that was going to be on your list.
Yeah, dude, so good, so fucking good.
Sweet.
All right, with that, I'm done. I'm ready to hear Chuck's number 4.
Number 4. And it just slipped into Marilyn Manson, One Assassination Under God.
Oh,
I've heard really good things about that.
I have too, and I can't rank something that I haven't heard yet. My wife is a big Marilyn Manson fan. Huge.
A heavier album. Like
Nice.
a little on the side, which is a breath of fresh air. I mean, as far as like if you go back to the past couple albums, it's been a bit mellow.
Mm.
Yeah.
You know, and but yeah, no, yeah, the One Assassination Under God, no funeral without applause. The 2 really good openers. Sacrilegious is cool. As Sick as the Secrets with oh yeah, Within. Just a bunch of bangers.
Awesome.
I love it when an album's fucking loaded, dude.
His voice is different. Sometimes it seems a little hard to recognize, and but then he'll hit you with the old Marilyn Manson voices. And it's like, oh yeah, there he is. He hasn't lost any of that. He's just added to
Yeah.
his of voices. And musically speaking, I mean, like, it just harkens back to the earlier days, but with probably a slightly modern edge to it, I guess. But there's some mechanical animals in there for sure. There's definitely some Antichrist Superstar vibes in there. Even on, like, even the first album, you can hear some of the, like, he was definitely like going, okay, I want to try to recapture some of that early vibe for whatever reason.
I'm
But
gonna have to pick
it
that up
works
for my
really
wife,
well.
dude.
It's really
If
good.
yeah, if it's dude, if it's all that, I'm gonna have to pick that up for my wife.
It's
She's a
really
big Manson fan. Sweet,
good. Yeah,
sweet.
that's number
What a nice
4.
pick. I ain't heard it yet, but it's on my get to listen to quick. My younger brother turned me on to Marilyn Manson.
Oh, right on.
He's a huge Manson fan. I wasn't, but he turned me on to a bunch of stuff. Like my let's go around the room real quick. What's your favorite Manson tune?
Mine?
Oof.
Yeah.
Probably Great Big White World.
Okay. Bruce?
Uh, right now I'm gonna say Tourniquet right off the top of my head.
Nice. Another good pick.
Yeah.
For me, it's a hard toss up between, and it could happen on any given day, Coma White or Cake and Sodomy.
Coma White's great. Like,
Yeah. Good shit. Good shit. Bruce,
Yeah.
you're up.
Disassociative on that album is good as well, by the way.
Dude, I can listen to most Manson albums all the way through. I can just throw it in and let it spin. There's usually not bad shit on, stuff that I'm not too big on the album. It's the guy did write some good shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think he wore out his welcome there for a minute with his shtick. I think people had kind of got tired of it. The music scene was kind of changing, and I think he kind of got lost there for a while.
I have heard from fans that have seen him live that he sounds the best he's sounded in years.
Hmm.
He
Well, he's supposed
really,
to be a little more sober these days, I guess. So that might
yeah,
Helps.
yeah. Bruce, number 4.
All right, number 4 for me. This is kind of a comeback album for these guys. This is definitely a return to form for this band who's been around for quite a long time. It was good to see that, to hear that. Number 4 for me, Happiness Bastards by the Black Crowes. A lot of really, I mean, this is classic Crows. There was quite a few albums, ranging from each of their solo projects. I think they came with a album a few years ago called Under the Frost. It was okay, but it wasn't that classic Crows that you wanted, say, from the first 3 albums or so. Starts off with Bedside Manners, Rats and Clowns, just really great shit on there. Um, Very Stonesy feel with Bleed It Dry. There's a really cool kind of duet with Lainey Wilson, country star, on Wilted Rose. Just a fucking solid Crows album. Solid Crows album. Great little ballad thing called Cross Your Fingers. This is just a great classic Crows sounding album. Very well produced, and the boys are back. It was great to hear. The boys are back.
What's the name of the album?
Happiness Bastards.
Nice.
Yeah.
How come you didn't give me that this year?
Didn't get around to it. It was on my list. Didn't get around to it, but you might get it later, 2025.
I might have to listen to it and then laugh at you when you go to give it to me and go, no.
No.
I'm not going to give you my rating. I already have it. No. Yeah. I went and seen the Black Crowes twice. The second time I would see them, they did none of their hits. Not a single one. Not a fucking single one.
Nice.
But they did do a fucking cover.
That.
They did do a cover of a band tune, a song from the band. I can't remember which tune it was. It might have been Arcadian Driftwood or something like that. But yeah.
Can you imagine them singing The Night They Drove Old Dixie Down?
That'd be good.
Fuck.
Dude, I'll tell you what. The first time I saw them, they opened up for Lenny Kravitz at Polaris. And I'm a Kravitz fan. I think he's a great guitar player. He's got his own sound. He's got his own DNA. Yeah, man, I love the Black Crowes. I just haven't listened to them for quite some fucking time.
Yeah.
All right, my number 4, dude. This has been a year for Doom and Stoner Doom for me. Unlike these last couple of years have been so good to me. And I don't think anybody really saw this one coming, but when it dropped like a fucking bomb. And the whole album, I'm not even going to get into this. It's like 4 tracks.
And it's 3 hours long.
But the whole fucking, no, it's 66 minutes, I think. But, oh man, dude. Did not see this coming. Did not expect that I would get to see them on tour, but Bong Ripper Empty, dude. Instrumental, stoner doom, droning at its freaking finest. And the tone on this album is so thick. I'm not going to tell you it's sun thick. It's not sun thick, because sun's probably about the thickest tone you can get. But this shit is thick. And the name of the album's Empty. And I think the track listing, because they always do their track listing as like a sentence, but it says, I think it's Nothing Remains Forever Empty. And dude, I'm going to give you these guys one day, and you're not going to be happy about it. But if you could just sit and listen to the nuances of where they take the drone to and where they're going to, dude, I could sit there and just.
I'll make sure I'll drink plenty of any energy drinks that week.
Yeah, you'll need them.
Yeah.
But yes, album number 4 for me is going to be Bong Ripper's Empty. Phenomenal. Got to see them do a good portion of it live, and really nice guys. Did not see that release coming.
Okay.
Chuck, you're up.
Number
album number 3.
So I'm usually not one to, I don't know, like with some of the newer bands, sometimes I guess they'll get lost in the shuffle sometimes because I'm busy doing other things or I'm wrapped up in something. And, and it's just like, and then sometimes some of the production and all that kind of just like, man, it's just a lot of plastic sounding and like modern music. But then I keep seeing this name float around, and everybody was like, "Oh, you got to check these guys out." Fucking Knocked Loose.
Heard of them.
You Won't Go Before You're Supposed To is the name of the album. Holy fuck!
What's the name of the album?
You Won't Go Until You're. You Won't Go Before You're Supposed To.
Now, what kind of music is it?
I mean, it's like, like hardcore, metalcore, but at times like very sludgy, like down-tuned, and like their breakdowns are like very vicious. They were actually just on, I think, Jimmy Kimmel or something like that, and it caused a stir because older people weren't happy or something, or like little kids got scared, whoever was watching it. But they had, I think Poppy did one of their tunes with them. And as far as, I mean, besides Slayer, they're probably the heaviest band that's been on television
Wow.
on a
Really?
mainstream show.
Huh.
But that aside, their album is just vicious. It's melodic, but at the same time, fast, but pulled back and like really heavy at certain times. Very much worth a listen. It's again, in these 5 albums, they're all front to back as far as I'm concerned. But like, the opening tune, Thirst, or Piece by Piece, not to be confused with Slayer's Piece by Piece. Suffocate, which is the song that they did on Kimmel. I think it was Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, I remember seeing something about that.
Yeah, that's the song that they did with Poppy. Like, she's actually on that tune. Yeah, Don't Reach for Me, Moss Covers, all. I mean, like, these songs are just what you think that they would be out of a hardcore band that has these metalcore, really harsh breakdown tendencies. They're that good. They deserve the notoriety that they're fucking getting.
I will have to check them out for sure.
Yeah,
Knocked
that's
Loose.
number 3. Yeah, Knocked Loose.
They've been around for a minute, haven't they?
A short minute, I think, since like 2017.
Yeah,
Maybe before then. I mean, I don't know. I don't know that too much about them. Like, like this is just fairly recent, that I checked them out. So
nice. Who turned you on to them?
just seeing people post about them on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, Bruce, I believe you're up.
All right.
Album number 3 for you.
Okay. Now I am fully aware I'm going to get tons of shit for this from at least you. Chuck's a good guy. He won't shit on me like you will. But I'm okay with this. I've come to peace with this. I am not saying that this album is the absolute musically best or anything like that, but this album, heavy in my rotation. This is an album that I keep finding myself really singing along to, humming along to. There's only like a bad track on this album, and it is the one, the only Ace Frehley 10,000 volts. I knew it. Look at him, folks. I understand there is a studio sweetener in this. I don't care. I know I'm never going to get this sound live. I don't care. There is some classic Ace in here that's quite frankly been missing on a lot of his last few studio albums. I really dig this. I love the artwork on the front of it. I love the big push that this thing got. It's a catchy as fuck album. Catchy as fuck. I dig the hell out of it. There is one, I'm telling you right now, there's one track on here called Constantly Cute. It is the worst pile of trash I have ever heard recorded since Peter Criss's All for One album. This thing is horrible. But there is some great shit on here. Fighting for Life, 10,000 volts. There was a demo that he had back in the early mid 80s called Back in My Arms Again. That was a hugely sought out demo that he did. It's a fantastic song. In fact, it is one of the first songs that I ever gave to my now wife, Rhea. it was on a cassette tape. So I recorded this. I burned it on a cassette tape and sent it to her. So when he actually came back in, redid that song, kind of updated it a little bit. It was really great to hear, and it actually kind of made me tear up a little bit. I love it. I don't care. Fuck off. Love that song. Fuck off.
Oh my goodness.
Love it.
Oh, okay. I don't know, dude. I look at him and I want to say one thing when it comes to Kiss.
Muppet.
He was the most talented member of Kiss.
Mhm.
It's just unfortunate that he is just a shell of a human being anymore.
I'm glad he's still out there doing something.
I don't know that it's good for his health.
Yeah,
Well,
Sorry.
Ace is back, and he told you so, Tony.
he did tell you so. Over and over and over.
Yeah.
Back to my biased list.
Well, it was back in the summer of '83. Well, all right, just go
Hey,
ahead.
You know, there's a reason I remember
It's
that
a day.
well.
Yeah. I was slipping and sliding.
Drinking and driving. I know
Howdy.
all the
I'm done with everybody in this room because we could all go through.
Closer to hell.
We could all go through that song. Yeah. Here's the thing, man. I don't know that I have high hopes to listen to it.
I figured you wouldn't.
I saw. Listen. So it's funny that this comes up because I was kind of going through some of what I found for what was releases, and I was at a hard toss up between that album and Motley Crue or Mick Mars is The Other Side of Mars.
Came out on the same day.
I will be honest with you. The Mick Mars album, it didn't make my top. It didn't make my honorable mentions. But I will tell you this, it's the hardest album that any member of Crew has done outside of Crew.
Yeah.
And that's just being honest, man. Like there's some really cool shit going on there, and whoever he's got on vocals, man, is kind of fucking killing it.
Mm.
Kind of reminds me of a really good cross of John Corabi and Vince when he was on A Decent Day.
Yeah.
But they I had a hard toss up, dude. And the last few Fraley releases just
I get it.
I'm done. I'm done.
Well, he's doing the cover. He's doing another covers album, ain't he?
Yeah, Origins Volume 3.
Yeah.
I really liked Volume 2. I thought it was better in Volume 1.
I like none of it.
I like his cover of Emerald.
A really good cover of Emerald.
Really good cover. Yeah.
Him and Slash trading off. Fuck off. So good.
Yeah, but is it really him and Slash?
Yes,
off, dude. Have you seen him live lately, dude?
I'm not talking live.
I don't give a shit in the studio, dude. If he can't fucking do it in the live, he can't fucking do it in the studio.
That's not true.
No, H can still get around the fretboard when he needs to.
Yeah.
Oh my God, guys.
There is YouTube.
And ladies and gentlemen,
this Kiss hatred is really
this
poisoning
is,
you.
let me explain something. This to you viewers watching and people listening is what you get when you deal with two Kiss fans. Okay.
You mean truth and awesomeness?
They will defend those fuckers till the day that they die. It was just a scratch. It was just a scratch. They took Ace's whole head off. It's just a scratch. He'll still be able to play his shit.
That's the sugar that Papa likes, Tony.
That's right.
Listen, no
one knows that.
You will never hear me dispute that Ace was the talent of that band. Hands down.
You do it, it drives me crazy. Oh, by the way, Chuck,
go ahead.
I love that album. Did Tone Capone over there ever give you that little gift that I gave you?
No, he had.
You son of a bitch.
Well, there's just been some time, restraints more probably on this end.
Yeah.
I will get over there and get that though, because Tony did tell me about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He knows. He's aware of it. It's sitting right there.
Yeah. No, I'll be by.
Yeah, I'm sure you
I'll
will.
be by. All right.
Album number 3 from me is going to be Orange Goblin, Science Not Fiction.
Mm.
These dudes don't fucking miss, man. They just don't fucking miss. They are probably one of the great British bands that are still fucking getting it in, and they really bring, stoner doom, um, just a good rock metal vibe, man. Track listing starts off with "The fire at the center of the earth is mine," and man, this thing just starts off as a freight train and just murders all the way through to track number 2, Not Rocket Science. Track number 3, I think, is False Hope Diet. That's probably my favorite track on the whole album. If you listen to that shit, man, it is so relevant to the world today. It's so fucking amazing. Cemetery Rats, to follow it up, does a really good job. The Fury of a Patient Man is probably, I want to say that's the shortest track on the album, but there is so much said. Amazing fucking track. And End of Transmission would see the album out as it was brought in, rocking right the fuck out. This album, I had to go back because Bone Ripper was going to end up in 3, but I had to go back and I go, you know what, man? That whole fucking Orange Goblin album, it rocks just as good as that fucking Bone Ripper album. But like, there were a lot more tracks. You know what I'm saying? There were just a lot more tracks. Not long, epic tracks, but there were a lot more tracks, and it was a lot. It's a great album, man. I would suggest if anybody got the chance, man, definitely check out that Orange Goblin, Science Not Fiction.
I do like some Orange Goblin.
They're good, man. They're fucking good. All right, Chuck, you're up. Number 2.
Number 2. So when everyone started talking about these guys bringing this element back to their sound, I just remember reading all the excitement. Their fans were very psyched that they would bring growls back into their repertoire. Seeing how they switched their sound up 3 or 4 albums ago. They went from progressive death metal to like a more progressive rock, but like really good progressive rock. But a lot of people had a hard time accepting this because of them being death metal. Well, their new album, they brought back the growls, and that would be the new Opeth album. The Last Will and Testament. I mean, just again, start to finish, it's a bit. There's a lot of progressive musical layerings, and it's a concept album. I think it's like based off of like some rich people or something. I'm not sure exactly what the concept is. I just heard the album a few days ago. There is no song titles really except for a chapter 1 through 7. Then the last one is like the last song is A Story Never Told, which is like it's piano driven or whatever. But if you like mellow Opeth, killer tune. All the other tunes though is like a mixture of the progressive death metal Opeth and the 70s progressive rock Opeth, all wrapped into one. They did a super good job with the production. It's got like that almost analog, darker vibe. You know what I mean? In the production, so it doesn't sound like a modern death metal record or anything like that. It has this. It's like if death metal was done in the 70s with the growls and stuff that he does. because Mike Atkerfeld is one of the best in the business when it comes to those low guttural growls. So I could see why their fans would be psyched that he brought that back in. Not that they ever quit doing, the songs that had all of that, all the growls and stuff, like all their older tunes. They were still doing those live, but they were just mixing up the newer era of Opeth, and the live set too, which just, it's all clean singing.
Yeah.
And Michael Atkerfeld has a great singing voice. So, I mean, it's like a best of all worlds wrapped into one. So that's why it's number 2. It's definitely, if you're an Opeth fan, it's definitely worth the listen. I'm sure that they're still going to get some flack from some fans because it doesn't sound like whatever the modern production is, and the super chunky guitars, because it's still like a 70s hard rock tone that they're fucking using. So it works really well though.
Nice.
So yeah, Opeth, The Last Will and Testament.
Nice. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that recent album's pretty fucking solid, man. I am not a big Opeth fan. I am familiar with who they are. I know they've been around for probably several fucking albums. Not to be confused with OTEP. Opeth's a whole different, better thing. So
let's not never confused ever.
Yeah. Bruce, number 2.
Number 2. This was a tough one, but I really dug this album. I was really excited when it came out earlier this year. A lot of great vocalists, ranging from Chris Robinson, Chris Stapleton, Iggy Pop, and Demi Lovato, all on the same album. We talked about this guy earlier. We got to bring him up one more time. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Slash and Orgy of the Damned. Yay, everybody, yeah. Anyway.
Why did I not hear about this?
Well, because I haven't got to give it to you yet. This was essentially a blues cover album that he did, featuring like Chris Robinson was doing that Steppenwolf song, The Pusher. Him and Gary Clark Jr., who, if you don't know who Gary Clark Jr. is, fuck, you need to look this dude up. Phenomenal. He is one of the new faces, the torchbearers of blues music, doing Crossroads. Chris Stapleton was doing vocals on Oh Well, that Fleetwood Mac song. And then one of my favorite songs on here was Papa Was a Rolling Stone, and Demi Lovato was singing this fucking thing.
Nice.
You will never hear me say anything else about Demi Lovato because I could care less, but she fucking killed it. And why this is not a single, I have no idea. No idea.
That's one of my all-time favorite songs.
Yeah, and they instead put the first single was Killing For with Brian Johnson from AC/DC on vocals, with Steven Tyler doing harmonica. Again, cool. Not the lead single off this. This absolutely should have been Papa Was a Rolling Stone. Another great blues artist, Beth Hart. She's been around for a while, singing her ass off on Stormy Monday, and another song I can't remember off the top of my head, but an absolutely phenomenal album.
Did he get Samantha Fish on there?
No, Samantha Fish was not on here, so sorry.
She's good.
Yeah, Samantha Fish is great. Beth Hart, Tosh Neal, Brian Johnson, Demi Lovato, Paul Rogers from Bad Company, Iggy Pop, Billy Gibbons. Him and Billy Gibbons doing Hoochie Coochie Man. Fuck. So good. Highly recommend this album. And you might be getting this album, Goni. I'm just saying.
Dude, I love Slash releases. You know he's one of my favorite guitar players.
Yep. So that was my number 2.
There aren't too many people in the world that actually play with feel the way that Slash does.
There is definitely a lot of feel.
In my personal opinion.
Yep.
Sorry. It's just my opinion, Chuck.
Oh, no. He's an identifiable sound. He's great. Yeah, Slash is great.
All right. Track number 2 for me, or album number 2 for me. Man, let me once again fucking say, this was a fucking year where I got fucking smacked with a fucking album and didn't realize shit was coming. I literally found this out like a week and a half ago. And this fucker slid right into my top 5. I just had to figure out where the fuck I was going to place it. It's been on heavy fucking rotation. And Bruce probably knows what it is. But it's Electric Wizards, Black Magic Rituals, and Perversions. Yeah. And I'm going to say this. The whole fucking thing. The whole fucking thing. It's a live album. But the crazy thing about it is, this isn't a live album in the sense of what you expect from a live album. This is a live album recorded right from the fucking board. There's no crowd. There's no crowd noise. You can actually hear what these fuckers are fucking doing live, and Just sounds like, usually Just is layered back in the vocals or layered back in the music, and you can barely hear him. This album is fucking phenomenal, and the track picking and listing that they chose to release this as, and it closes off with Funeralopolis. Get the fuck out of here, man. It's fucking, this thing is fucking heavy. I absolutely love it. Really cool concept, saying it's, and it was recorded live at a big festival, but it sounds like it's a direct recording from the board without any crowd interference in the background, which is fucking wicked, dude. So yeah, Electric Wizard. And you know what? I'm not going to be able to post that online.
Why?
The album covers.
Okay.
There's nudity. There's boobies on the fucking album cover.
I don't know what to do.
How dare you, sir? How dare you?
I don't want to fucking get us dinged on fucking YouTube.
Can't you put some pasties on it or something?
I don't even know how I'd even fucking edit that shit in, man.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Well, maybe I'll find a censored cover out there or something. We'll see. But I tell you, it's there. It's there.
It's there.
Yeah. Anyways, album number 2, man. Yeah, that was it's a great album. I did not see that coming. I was just kind of perusing, looking for some Electric Wizard stuff to add to my collection, and I was on Amazon and I saw something happening like it's getting released in 2 days at midnight, and I was like, well, I'm going to pre-order that shit. And I pre-ordered it, and I waited till fucking midnight, and I just sat and threw that thing in my fucking headphones and just, I tried my best to listen to it in its entirety. And I talked to Bruce about this. I said, have you ever wanted to listen to an album so fucking bad and just shit's not working out and you get to listen to the whole thing in its entirety? He's like, yeah, happens to me all the time. It took me 3 days to finally fucking listen to the album in its entirety, dude. And
now it only has 3 songs on it.
No, dude. That thing's loaded. That thing is fucking loaded, dude. That thing's loaded with all kinds of great shit. Black Masses on there. Fucking Dope Throne's on there. Fucking Funeralopolis is on there. Satanic Rites of Drugula's on there. Like, dude, there's like the track listing is ooh, killer. Killer, killer.
All
All
right.
killer, no filler, dude. All right. Chuck, your number one album for 2024, buddy.
All right, so again, checking out a lot of the newer bands. Sometimes I don't have time, and sometimes I just don't know what's going on. This is another band that I seen just people mentioning on Facebook, and when it comes to death metal, like I like there's very I don't like a lot of death metal, but the bands I like I really like, and these guys have entered that little lexicon of bands that I really like, and that would be Blood Incantation.
Oh, yeah, dude. Come on.
Where? Oh,
What's the name of the album?
Absolute Elsewhere.
Yeah.
So it's probably the best death metal album I've heard in 15 years. Yeah. It's that good because they're doing something that maybe Opeth started, but these guys are just kind of, I don't want to say that they're like Opeth or anything. There's more of a old school death metal element to them, some technical shit. But then there's this psychedelic Pink Floyd, Camel like sound that starts to have Eloy. Eloy is another band that I can hear when they break their songs down, like not break down as in pummeling you in the head breakdown, but like the old school breakdown when they would break the song down into like a mellow section. These guys know what they're doing with the psychedelic elements and know how to bring you back into the song. It when Tony was saying, an album that I didn't see coming. Yeah, I didn't see this coming at all.
Yeah.
I thought it was just going to be another death metal band that's playing 1,000 miles an hour or 2,000 miles an hour today. And it turned out that I was totally wrong. And they've got this old school, but psychedelic rock element that is like very original for what they're doing. The songs, there's only 6 of them, and the Stargate parts 1 through 3, and then the Message parts 1 through 3. Solid front to back. If you like psychedelic rock, but you like some death metal too, they do all of that really well.
So listen, I'm going to tell you, maybe you're just getting hip to them cats, but if you haven't, you need to go back and listen to the album Hidden History of the Human Race.
Okay.
Dude, when you mentioned them as a band, I knew exactly who they were. That Hidden History of the stellar fucking album, dude. I think it was released in 2019. You get the chance, you really like what you heard from those dudes, go back and check that album out because that's when I heard of them. It was back in 2019.
Yeah,
I blew my fucking wig, like boom, like damn.
I had seen the name, and it's just like, I don't know. I got burnt on death metal just like a long time ago. Everybody started sounding the same, and it's like, okay, well, what else is there? Unless it's Opeth, because Opeth is not only hitting you with, even on that new album that I'm talking about, that I was talking about, they don't just hit you with the death metal, but they also hit you with Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah.
So it's like this. It's such a good marriage between like what death metal can be on an like a organic, earthy, vibe. Blood Incantation has that earthiness. There's something very organic about their sound and how they get to those Pink Floyd or Camel-like sections. Yeah, no, it's all worth checking out.
Yeah. Yeah. If you get the chance, man, definitely check out that album. Hidden
Oh,
History
yeah,
of the Human Race, dude. It's phenomenal.
I will. Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
Yeah, that's number one. Yeah,
Chuck's
best
number one.
15 years.
Chuck's number one. Nice.
Nice.
Bruce,
All right.
you're number one, brother.
My number one. Well, if anyone has been paying attention to the show the last, I don't know, month or so, you may already know who my number one is. This album for me has been the album itself has been my most played album of 2024, according to Spotify. This album is just fucking fun. It rocks. It's just fucking cool. They literally showed they showed all the kids how the big boys do it.
I already know what it is.
You better know who it is.
I know exactly who it is.
Songs like Sacred Cow, All About You, Wicked Cool Disguise, Goddamn New York, and of course, Thank You, Have a Nice Day. Everyone, my number one album of 2024 is the one, the only, self-titled The Dictators.
I knew it.
Love this fucking album.
They made my honorable mention.
Yeah.
They made my honorable mention for sure.
Yeah.
That was a phenomenal album. And Chuck, if you get to like some old school punk hard rock sounding things, man, if you get the chance, man, check that album out. It's a pretty solid little album.
Yeah, Ross the Boss is still the fucking man.
Yeah.
If you like Ace Frehley type licks, this is Ace Frehley on fucking steroids.
Oh,
Ross
right
Ross the Boss is the fucking man.
Yeah.
Songwriting is great.
Ross was a founding member of Man of War.
Yep.
And then Albert, their drummer, was a founding member of Blue Oyster Cult.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude, it's a solid fucking album.
Yeah.
It made my honorable mention for sure. It was for me, there was just so many good Doom releases, dude. So many good fucking Doom releases this year, and I listened to a lot more of that than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So my honorable mentions will fall, somewhat doomy and somewhat not doomy. But congratulations there, man. I knew it. The Dictators. How about that?
No.
I knew they were going to make your top.
Yeah.
I figured they were going to be your album of the year.
God damn. So good.
Dude, they got a lot of really good albums especially in that style of music, man.
Yep.
All right. And I will close this thing out with our top 5, and then we'll go ahead and get into our honorable mentions. My number one album of the year, make no mistake about it. Very biased again. High on Fire, man. Cometh Storm. If you haven't heard this thing, it is solid as a rock. Got to see them on tour. Got to meet Matt outside of one of the venues. I got to see him twice on this tour, as a matter of fact. Notable tracks are the opening track, Lamb's Bread. Killer way to start off the album. Burning Down. I think there's a video out there for that. Cometh the Storm. I think there's a video out there for that. Hunting Shadows and Darker Fleece. I can listen to this album front and back. Those are just my favorite tracks off the album. That's pretty much the majority of the album. This thing, Matt just continues to prove he's a fucking powerhouse of tone. And dude, they were phenomenal both times I got to see them. This album just sounds great. It's probably in my top 3 fucking High on Fire albums. Blessed Black Wings, Death is His Communion, and this album right here. I like the one that's in Latin as well, the one that's got the Latin title as well. But man, this is a great metal album, dude. Like, this is just a solid fucking metal album. And I think if Sleep, High on Fire, Matt Pike and the Automaton, anything like that's kind of your thing, you may want to check this out. Phenomenal album. Those are my number one or my top five. And once again, I said it was going to be biased. I very much said it was going to be biased just because there were so many good releases in my favorite genre of music this year that I couldn't fit them all. Some of them had to make honorable mentions. So with that being said, that we made it through our top five, we're going to go ahead and let Chuck talk about a few of his honorable mentions. Go through your number of honorable mentions there. Just kind of throw those out real quick, and then Bruce will go ahead and follow that up.
Okay, so again, a few months back, I kept seeing people talk about Gate Creeper.
Oh, good band.
So I checked out their newest album. I believe that it's called what is it called? Oh, Dark Superstition. And it's got that like that Swedish, that old school Swedish death metal vibe that is very, close to, to true. So I mean, it's like if you're looking for, some really good melodic death metal, like that album is a front to back kick-ass album. Another one, Dive, Diiv. The name of the album is Frog in Boiling Water. It's like they're kind of like, I hate the term, but I guess shoegazy, kind of alternative, dreamy. There's a little bit of a heaviness to them. Kind of like that My Bloody Valentine type of vibe, but not as weird. Again, the newest Lucifer album. Tony, do you know who Lucifer is?
I'm familiar with them.
Okay, Lucifer 5, killer album. I only had enough, room for 5, so it didn't make my top 5.
Right, I get it.
And then another one would be, and I was actually, when I first seen the name, I thought of you for some reason. You should check out, first of all, the new pallbearer. The second of
The
all,
Undertaker's manager?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck. Psychedelic Witch Cult.
Okay.
It's Electric Wizard vibes, but to an extent dirtier.
Nice. I don't know how much dirtier you can get than Wizard, dude.
I know. Dirtier maybe it's because of the production.
Dude, when they literally went in to make Dope Throne and said, we're looking to make the dirtiest, heaviest album we can. I think they did a good job, dude. So
yeah, well, this is definitely like the Witch Cult today vibe. You know what I mean?
Shit.
Yeah. Not like when they started taking the production like more on the lo-fi.
Yeah.
When they started out on like Witch Cult, right?
I think so, yeah.
And like, so this kind of has that vibe. Very, very good though. Very good.
Nice.
The other mentions.
What's that?
I said those are my honorable mentions.
Nice. Bruce, let's hear
right.
your honorable mentions.
Listen, before I get into my honorable mentions, I gotta ask, do either of you guys listen to anything like happy?
Yes.
Like, that's all death and just happy and uplifting.
Better riffs, dude. There's better riffs in this music.
Well, Baby hasn't put out a new album yet.
Right.
That's
who knows what they're going to sound like without Nico?
That's my favorite band of all time. So
we know.
Who is it?
Iron Maiden. Yeah.
Iron Maiden.
Well, and I think that the guy that they got as their drummer now, I think he'll do just fine. I mean, he's not Nico.
Right.
He's my favorite drummer of all time. But if you watch any of the British Lion footage on like YouTube or whatever, it's like, I mean, and I don't mean this as an insult, but some of it is like Iron Maiden light.
Mm.
but the drumming and all that is very reminiscent of Iron Maiden. So
Okay.
he's like a twist between Clive Burr and Nico.
Gotcha.
And he runs with a double bass pedal too. So I don't know if he's going to bring that along, which might help him have his own identity, where he can maybe flip in some double bass here and there. I don't know. Maiden doesn't really have that because Nico did all that shit with one foot.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but yeah, Iron Maiden's great. They got the right drummer.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope that they put something else out, man. It'll be interesting to hear, a different line, something different in the mix. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be something different.
Something
Yeah.
different in the mix. Bruce,
All right, here we go.
let's hear your happy list.
And my happy list. Let's see. Top of my well, these are in no actual particular order.
Right.
They're all just really cool. I really enjoyed Pearl Jam's latest album, Dark Matter. That was more of a return to form of what the Pearl Jam that we're used to from like Versus and Vitology era. I really dug this album a lot. Eddie's voice is definitely, you can definitely understand him more than previously, which was really cool to hear. I really enjoyed that album.
All right.
Next up, Heavy Temple's Garden of Heathens. I had to put that on there. It's a
Dude,
really
it's
good
a really
album.
good album, man.
It's a really good album. Then I also had the Tony Slug Experience.
Oh,
Do you remember that
fuck, I
album?
forgot that album
Yeah.
dropped this year, dude. Did it drop this year or last year?
No, it was this year.
Oh, that was a good album,
Yeah.
man. Yeah.
That was kind of it's a really good punk album. A lot of different lead vocalists, including Jello Biafra, who that dude just shits gold. I love Jello's style. I just love it. So, let's see. Rounding up my honorable mentions, Heavy Steady Go by the Bell Rays.
That's the new one.
Yeah, that's the new one.
I haven't got a chance to listen to it yet.
Yeah. They're creeping into one of my favorite recent bands. They've just got a really cool soul, punk, rock, R&B vibe that just
they're fire.
you just can't pigeonhole them in one kind of genre. They're just all over, and I love it. And then last but certainly not least, Midnight Gasoline by Jamie Johnson. That's probably the best country album of this year, period. This thing is very very powerful lyrically, and very slow. It's a somber. Most of the album's somber. Anyone who knows anything about Jamie Johnson, he isn't exactly a little ray of sunshine himself, and he doesn't smile much. Let's say that. So this was a really good album. Kind of snuck up on me. I didn't even realize he was working on a new album, but definitely a great album. So that rounds out my honorable mentions.
Cool. All good ones, man. I'm loving what I'm hearing. And the really cool thing about this is I'm going to go back and I'm going to edit this episode, listen to this episode, and I'm going to take some of these albums. I'm going to throw them in my playlist for the next couple of weeks. Just kind of really get to hear what you guys got to hear and what you thought were some of your favorite albums for the year. Personally, myself, I hope that if you get the chance to listen to anything that I've given you, let me know what you think, man. Because these albums are absolute. We were lucky. They're lucky to get this many good albums this year. With that being said, I'm going to round out mine with my 5 honorable mentions. This is once again in no particular order. Acid Mammoth released their fourth album, Supersonic Megafauna Collision. These dudes are out of Greece, man, and I caught hip to them on a Doom dive one day, man, and I absolutely love these guys. I love every one of their releases. The best thing I could say is if there was Greta Van Fleet, right? They sound very similar to Led Zeppelin. If there was a band that sounds pretty similar to what you would expect of Black Sabbath, these guys are them. Acid Mammoth is kind of that thing, man. They're really, really fucking good. And that album's phenomenal. Bruce, I'm surprised this didn't make your honorable mention. I'm also surprised it didn't come up anywhere for you whatsoever. Soul Asylum, Slowly but Surely.
It was there. It was right there.
I love this album, and I've jammed it quite a few times, and I got to go see them live. Pick the album up at the show. Still, these guys, man, they still maintain a great sound. I have a lot of love and respect for these guys since I was way younger. Of that scene of alternative stuff that was coming out, these guys kind of stood out to me like Alice in Chains stood out in the grunge thing. You know what I mean? When Nirvana came around and was hip, I wasn't hip to Nirvana. I never liked Nirvana. I still don't like Nirvana. I get a lot of shit for it. I don't mean to, just not a fucking fan. Bands like Soundgarden and Alice in Chains, of that wave of music that came through, those were what I liked a lot more. You know what I mean? My next one would be Hastronaut, No Return. I wasn't really familiar with these guys. Once again, on a Doom dive, Stoner Doom dive. Really cool album. Love this album. Jammed it several times since I've owned it, and still jammed it. Just listened to it the other day. Solid album. I can't really tell you much more than that. King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, Flight B741.
Whoop, whoop.
This made honorable mention because I actually got to review this here recently on the show, very recently, as a matter of fact. And I've been aware of King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard for a while. They do kind of delve in that psychedelic doom type thing. But I haven't really sat down and listened to a release by them. This thing blew my doors off. You know, I give this a 9.5.
Yeah, something like that. It's pretty high.
This thing is so peppered with flavor.
Yeah.
This is like going down and getting you a big fucking bowl of fucking Creole, just fucking peppered with fucking, like, I'm not even kidding, dude. This thing is so peppered with flavor, dude. There's so much style of great music that you're getting in this. Like, there's times where it's just really rocking, and then there's times where you hear melodies like what's the song?
I think that's the Risk. I
No, it's Off to the Sun in the Sky or something like that, man. I can't remember.
Okay.
But it's a real harmonizing. Everybody got a friend in Jesus. Some shit. I can't remember the fucking name of that tune, dude. But there's
Spirit in the Sky.
Spirit in the Sky. Thank you. It's got that kind of vibe at times because of the harmonization. The harmonization is like on it. These dudes. It's hard not to like these dudes, man. Like, I tried my best to pick that album apart. Musically, I couldn't. As a musician, I just couldn't fucking do it.
I'll have to give it a listen. I've never heard anything.
Dude, King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard's a very talented band, man.
What's really cool about them, Chuck, is every album is different.
Yeah.
Like 1 minute they'll do a Doom album, next minute they'll do something completely different, and I mean, it's just all over the place. And they put out like 2 or 3 albums a year.
Right.
But
I
see,
know
here's the thing. Like, they could be compared to somebody like Boris because Boris can do whatever the fuck they want. You know who Boris is.
I
Oh
know
no,
the
I
name.
love Boris.
Yeah. So Boris can do almost any kind of thing they want. Clutch, in the rock realm, they kind of do whatever they fucking want. But this band kind of does it on a fucking different level. And there's like,
Yeah.
it's good, dude. Like it's really good, man. Like it's good, dude. That's I could tell you this album could have slid into my top 5 with how good it was. It is a good fucking album. And my last honorable mention, I'm gonna have to agree with Bruce on his number one. It's not my number one. Nothing against those guys whatsoever. Wonderful guys to hang out with. But the Dictators, man, that album was a breath of fucking fresh air. Just kind of, you just, it's good. It's good, man. For hard rock, punky sounding thing, it's a perfect quick listen. Takes about what, 30, 45 minutes to listen to tops.
At most 45 minutes.
And a lot of that shit's a fucking banger.
Great tribute to Joey.
Oh,
Ramone.
dude, that closeout with
Mhm.
the tribute to Joey is insanely good. And if you ever, and I'm not going to sit here and brag and like I got to hang out with Joey Ramone. No, I got to meet Joey Ramone, and he was a very, very nice individual. No rock star bullshit, kind of shy. That song did nothing but justice. What a great fucking closer. And it it blew my wig back, man, that's for sure. But yeah, man, what a show. Happy New Year's to everybody out there that's going to get to catch this. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Remember, you like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what your favorite albums were for the year. Give us some albums to listen to. We'd love to hear from every one of you. Chuck, you are no stranger to this fucking show.
Happy New Year, guys.
So you know
Happy
how this
New Year.
fucking you know how this goes. You must give us an album to review.
Now hold on, Tony.
Hold on. You know what?
Yeah.
We have to follow up. We have to follow up his review after next week's episode because we'll be hosting the Sons of Silver and discussing their release,
Their
or
new album coming up.
their new release coming out. So we're very excited by this.
Well, then, I would say the new Graveyard album, Tony. Self-titled, I believe. 6. Graveyard 6.
All right.
Do you know who Graveyard is?
I'm familiar. I never heard him.
Oh,
I'm pumped. Are you going to go to the Nile show?
maybe.
I was thinking about going because I honestly, and you can laugh all you want. I don't care. I want to see 6 Feet Under, but I don't want to see them unless they're going to do anything off the first 2 hours. I want to hear something off the first 2 albums.
If they're not doing America the Brutal, I'm not going to go. That's my favorite 6 Feet Under song.
Is it really? Mine's Warpath.
It's so obnoxious.
Mine's Warpath.
I might go. Niall's new album almost made my honorable mention.
Really?
The new St. Vincent album almost made my honorable mention too. You guys know who St. Vincent is?
I know the movie with Bill Murray. Does that count?
It's kind of like a pop, like an indie pop type of thing.
Good.
Huh.
I have to check that out as well. Dude, I'd love being able to go back and listen to this episode and going, okay, I gotta take this in. I gotta take this in. Chuck's turned me on to a lot of great shit, man. That Obelisk album sits in heavy rotation for me.
Oh,
White Lightning.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good.
I think they got a new album out too.
I'll have to check into it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it's called.
I just recently acquired a bunch of shit because it was Bandcamp Friday or some shit, and I picked up Troubles Psalm 9 or something like that. Fucking killer album, killer. Little bit different than the Doom style that I'm used to, but still pretty fucking killer.
New Helicopters. You know who?
I've heard of them.
Okay, Helicopters is like the drummer from Entombed. It's his garage rock band. He's
Okay.
also
I wish anybody you would looking forward to an album coming from this year?
Anthrax, Testament.
Is Testament working on a new one?
Megadeth is working on a new one. Deftones.
Are they all working on? Is it confirmed they're working on new ones?
Oh yeah.
See, I'm waiting on the new Ohm album. I want to hear. I'd love to see something from Windhand. We ain't heard nothing from Windhand for a while.
Didn't you put out like a country album or something like that?
Oh, dude,
Or like a full.
that almost made my honorable mention. As a matter of fact, I just put it away. I got that for Christmas, but I've owned it since then. Dorothea Cottrell's Death Folk Country. Bruce will tell you.
Yeah, I got it. I got it in my library here.
It's amazing. It's fucking amazing. But I like both of her solo releases. But I'd love to hear something new from Windhand, man. It's been a long fucking time. I actually honestly thought we would hear something from Windhand before we heard anything from Electric Wizard, let alone a live album from Electric Wizard. That blew my mind.
Check that. I'll have to check that out for sure.
Yep.
That and the King Gizzard, I'll definitely check out.
Our buddy Keith Roth, he's putting out a new album. Coming up in March. The latest single, "Don't Feel Like Thinking Today," really cool. Did you get a chance to listen to that one yet?
Not yet.
Okay, definitely looking forward to that. Our buddy West Beach and Bloody F Mess are working on a Plasmatics tribute album that should be released at some point this year.
Sons of Silver, we're getting ready to release an album this year.
Yep. Runaway Emotions.
In the next week or two.
That's right. They'll be on
January 6th. We'll have them air shooting the 6th.
Yep.
They'll be on the 7th.
Yep. And then their album releases on the 10th.
Yep.
So
yeah, lots of big things. I know Ohm's supposed to have a new album coming out. Mm-hmm. Who else is supposed to have another album that's being worked on that I saw here recently? I'd imagine you probably could expect something from Sublime.
Yep.
Now that Jacob Knowles taken over, as far as vocal duties and stuff, I know they're out touring. They just did a halftime show out in LA for the Rams game. So,
hey, we're forgetting a really important band putting out a release in 2025.
Who?
Beyond Neptune, baby.
Yeah, their EP from Beyond Neptune.
Does this EP have a title yet?
Anything
you can share?
No, not yet.
Man, I thought we were friends.
We just did a new shirt. We got a new shirt. I should have brought one out and showed it.
You should grab me a 4X, man.
A 4X?
4X. If you order them in, let me know. I'll pick one up. I don't give a shit. I'm a 4X comfortably.
I'll let you know when we order another batch.
Okay.
I mean, it's just going to be 2 songs. Like I said, we're getting ready to release Eyes Open Blind, which is an older song that's been updated. And so we're getting ready to put that out. And then, like I said, when we're finally done with the recording and mixing and all that, we'll start, setting a date to figure out exactly when we're going to, put it out. Okay. And then we actually got something else too that that came from the first EP that we re-recorded from the ground up. And our ex-guitar player, Corey, who, if you guys know the story, he's no longer with us for obvious reasons. And so anyway, we lifted his vocals from the first EP, and they're going to be on this new version of the tune.
That's sweet.
Yeah, and like I've already got it kind of mixed in and stuff, so it sounded pretty cool.
Nice.
Awesome.
Sweet. So it
Looking
sounds like a
forward.
good year coming up from Beyond Neptune. Looking forward to hopefully I get something figured out with the Nomads, man. I got to find like-minded people. There's rumor, and I'll throw this out there because I know it's been talked about. There's rumor Suspect Earth reunion.
All right on.
I don't know for sure the logistics behind it. I know that the 3 founding members would like to put it together, and I spoke with a bass player a few months ago, and I know that they would possibly be interested in doing one last hurrah. The only problem I have is somebody doesn't want to make it one last hurrah. They want to turn it into a shit we had before again, and that's a lot to fucking run, especially if I'm trying to get the Nomads off the ground.
You got nothing but time.
Nothing but time, man. Glad, I still got Chris working with me. He's got a buddy that plays bass. There's a possibility we can get him involved. And, I may just keep it down to a 3-piece and turn it instrumental or something. I'm over not being able to go out and perform,
Yep.
So I definitely entertain a Suspect Earth reunion show. I want to bring the right bands on the bill. I'd like to have the right venue. But I don't want to be in a situation where we pack someplace and I'm getting hit with an I-9. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the Suspect Earth show gets pretty packed pretty quick.
Yep.
Blows my mind how we still fucking are able to fucking do it. Just blows my fucking mind. But it's nice. It's nice that many fucking people give a shit.
You really like me. You really, really like me.
Dude, you've seen a lot of SE shows.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of SE shows. What's your favorite Suspect Earth show you ever saw?
Show?
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. Probably the basement was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I got up there and sang a song.
Yeah. You come up and did God of Thunder, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also willing to lend my vocal skills, Chuck. Just say.
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da.
You're gonna have a hard time beating Blue out, brother.
Oh no, I ain't beating nobody out. I'm just a little background, a little flavor.
A little flavor. Little
Flavor
sprinkle.
Flav.
Yeah.
that's all I
So,
got.
man, I'll tell you what. What a great year for music.
On this new EP. Like they're both at the top of their game on this new EP. The contrasted vocals between the two is just really cool.
Awesome.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, let's close this out with one more
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Best show you saw this year.
Oh, I'm going to go with I might have to go with the I Am Morbid show just because it was David Vincent and Pete Sandoval of Morbid Angel. And they gave you all the songs that you want to hear at a Morbid Angel show without being officially a Morbid Angel. You know what I mean? So
I didn't think you'd say that.
because
I thought you'd say the Death to All show. Ah, dude, that was freaking amazing. What are you talking about?
I have some issues. I have some issues with.
The Death to All show?
Yeah, yeah.
What's your issue?
You
It was
were there.
good. It was good. No. It was good. Or no, here. If I had to take it away from the I Am Morbid show, if I was going to take it away and give it to anybody, it would be Voivod.
Yeah, they were killer, dude.
So maybe Voivod will get the number one spot.
They were killer, dude.
But I Am Morbid. I Am Morbid. Kind of gave you the Morbid Angel songs that you were hoping to hear. So, which the Death to All thing was cool, but yeah. I would say that maybe Voivod was probably the best though.
Nice.
That was
Final answer.
Voivod. I'm going to give it to Voivod.
There you go.
And Voivod was great. I've been listening to Voivod since Nothing Face. And the only reason I even knew about them because they had the Nothing Face poster at the fucking top of Buzzard's Nest. Remember that shit? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they had it like on campus too.
Yeah.
Like at the Magnolias.
Mm-hmm.
Then there at the old Magnolias when it was on 10th and High,
Yep.
when it was right there in the crusty red building.
Oh yeah.
Apollo's fucking Apollo's nightclub that also had fucking gyros and shit right there instead of all the way up north that it is now. It's further up now. It's in the old fucking that building used to be a fucking old stereo building, like high tech stereo company or something that used to sit in that building.
In there at one point too.
Yeah.
Like a higher end one, I think.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about. You've been hanging around campus for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Bruce, best show you saw this year?
Green Jello.
Really?
Got to go on stage with them guys and was a punk rock puppet and oh dude, it was a blast. Absolute blast. Fucking rocked. A lot of fun.
The best show for me this year. Fuck, dude. I saw a lot of shows this year. I saw High on Fire twice. Driving up to Cleveland to see them was a lot of fun. Meeting Matt up there was pretty fucking cool. But I want to say, was it this year or last year that I got to see Conan out at the West Side Bowl? I just remember seeing them, and that fucking venue is so fucking cool. You played there. West Side Bowl. West Side Bowl?
Oh, West Side Bowl. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Man, it's a fucking cool little venue, man. I wouldn't even call it a cool little venue. It's a big ass fucking venue.
Yeah, but, no, it's
if I saw Conan this year, which would have been earlier, I would say Conan.
That's an anticipated album.
It's coming. That's who I was going to mention. Thank you.
We got a new bass player.
Nice guy. Met him up at the West Side Bowl, and then fits in just fine. Just up there killing it. His name's Dave.
Dave's not here, man.
I want to say his name's Dave because I was yelling the motherfucker's name to get the set list. And what else? It would be Conan or it'd be I'm gonna roll with Heavy Temple, dude. They were phenomenal live. They were fucking phenomenal live. Getting to hang out with them and being as personable as we were, and seeing them in a smaller venue like that, running into them at fucking Hound Dogs.
Yeah.
That was a great night. Getting pictures and all that other good shit, dude. Got a bunch of merchandise signed and shit, man. Yeah, I'm gonna roll with that Heavy Temple fucking show. That was my favorite show of the year, dude.
Sweet.
All right, guys. Once again, if you like what you see here, please like, comment, subscribe. We are on all of your podcast streaming services.
Every
Uh,
damn one.
every damn one. I guess we're not going to give each other an album because Chuck has given us Graveyard 6, which will be coming after next week's episode, which we will be hosting the Sons of Silver in anticipation of their new release. Bruce, do you have the name of that again?
That was, I figured you'd tell me, or you'd ask me. Runaway Emotions.
Runaway Emotions. So we
Coming
look forward
out
to having
January 10th.
Yep, and we look forward to having those guys on next week. With that being said, Chuck, thank you for everything. Thank you for being a fan of the show. Thank you for every time that we can call on you and have you on as an extra voice, just to kind of fill in some spot and have some good conversation. We know you love talking music as much as we do. Bruce, you got anything for us for the rest of the evening?
No, again, Happy New Year, everyone. Chuck, thank you again.
For having me.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe we can get a couple of you guys back on when the new album comes out.
The EP drops.
Yeah.
Let's definitely talk about that. Let's talk about that process. And I'd love to get Blue on, man.
It's not going to be called Hooked on Rock and Roll, so you ain't got to worry about it.
Baby, don't let me down.
All right, guys. Bruce, what do you got to say? You can't even keep your shit together. You're coughing so much.
We'll save it off air.
Yeah. All right. Over there's Chuck. I'm Tone.
I'm Bruce.
And we're hooked on Sonix. Thanks for tuning in and Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year.
See ya.
See ya.
See ya.